Well, hello, famous YouTubers. Wait, we're the famous YouTubers, not them, right?
Yeah, sure.
GruzeBoy and the ColeTrain here. We're going to talk to you about a game we play called Factorio. First of all, we are not experts at the game. We did beat the game, but there's certainly a lot we learned and a lot you can learn moving forward. Let's go back to where we started and leave the robot there. See how... I know you do, pal. Anyway, so Captain Fiddle here, GruzeBoy is in this wonderful thing called Spidertron down there, which is a later game thing. I wouldn't say it late game, just later game, right?
Late game.
Late game thing.
No science.
That's pretty fantastic, but we're not there yet. We're going to start at the beginning and kind of walk through what we learned and what we did as we went. So, what is Factorio? GruzeBoy, do you have a comment on that?
It's a factory building, like a really large expanse of a game. It's like you do one thing and it leads to another and it leads to another and it leads to another, but oh no, that one thing, there's a bottleneck here, so you need to go fix that, and just like you need to make a strong factory, and your end up goal is to shoot a rocket into space.
Right, you just keep building and building and generating until you can shoot this rocket. So, you're looking at some iron right now. The iron's going to eventually make a cog, and the cog is going to make a circuit, and it goes on and on and on. You have to take the iron ore to make the iron plate. It just goes on and on. You have to keep building and building. It's a process flow game. You see all these conveyors. This is all material running all around, going places, doing things. So anyway, enough about that. It's a really fun game if you like that sort of analytics and that detail. There's a lot of YouTubes out there, and there are a lot of people that get really deep into efficiencies and processes.
Nitpicky,
oh yeah, they've got this
conveyor belt turns are inefficient. In fact, you should do strafe splitters.
Oh man, they are detail oriented people to do this, and which we are kind of, but obviously not to the extent. So enough about that. Where we started in this game is the coal.
Pretty sure we spawned right up here.
Yeah, and this is one of the. You want to go to the map? Let's just show the map real quick. Let them know what's to come. So essentially, you see. Right, that's where we are zoomed in. We built all of this. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And those little squares are fun robots we'll talk about later. So, yeah, that's how much we've explored. That's how big it's gotten. Those are bad guys. We'll talk about that another time. Let's go back to our spot. I'm just letting you know this is the tip of the iceberg. This is where we started getting our coal. And if you can see, all these conveyors run coal around. Essentially, coal. Hold still there, GruzeBoy. Let's quit moving all around. What are you saying? The coal is you first use to make the furnaces, and you can see up there. Why don't you run over by the iron plate making thing? Basically, over there by the iron plate thing, you need a furnace to take that iron ore that he's highlighting right now, and it goes in the furnace and makes an iron plate. And then, as I mentioned, that's kind of the beginning and start of the game. So, coal and iron. Is there anything to add there, GruzeBoy?
Nope.
The next thing we had was the main bus. So the goal here is, there we go. So say we have all of our iron, it's called the main bus and all that copper, right? Same thing's going on with copper. Those are your two main things you start off with, right? Is there even another one? I can't think.
Nope, it's copper.
Yeah, that's the main two. And see, this is the main bus because these are the main things, and from there, all of your stuff, zoom out slowly, all of your stuff spiders off this main bus, and get a little bit more. There we go. And just goes on and make things. So why don't we go up here, whatever this is, and show them the, hey, so we pull the,
So this is red science. Red science is your first research item. So we have copper and iron. And what I do is I just take a splitter. I just take a conveyor belt underground over, split off copper. So now I have the copper and iron up here.
Don't wave slowly. Keep going now. Go slow.
Bring the iron up here to make the cogs. Have the iron in here to make more cogs. Cogs are very necessary. Copper goes here. So now I have copper making wire, and iron make circuits, and we have a whole bunch of many different things. So what you just do is you just take a splitter and just branch it off this bus, and then just put it up here to make your own little thing. So we have this one which makes red and green, but then we have military and blue, and just sprout things off it.
So our one thing we didn't do that I'm recommending if you are watching this and about to play is that You notice up there, go up just a little bit, there's a green circuit. That green circuit, you need a lot of them, and it's the hub. We essentially have lots of little green circuit makers all over the place. We really should have put that on our main bus. That's a main thing. You need the iron, makes the cog, makes the iron rods,
yes.
Makes the green circuit, makes the copper wire.
Yes, so our main bus, it has copper and iron. Our main bus should have, we did this very late, it should have steel and like coal and plastic and sulfur.
Yeah, steel down there. The iron makes the steel. Oil. It should have a lot more stuff than it does now. Yeah, I know this looks confusing, but the point is...
It's spaghetti.
They call this the spaghetti base, whenever just stuff goes everywhere, right? Because
yes, it gets stuff done, but it does not look efficient at all. They call it spaghetti.
And there's people that are into it, where they've got it down, lined out, perfect, down to a science, which we, try to listen to them and try to do that to an extent, but at some point, we kind of just have to get ingenuitive and get it done, right? Yeah. All right, so main bus, we did that, right? And you can show them, zoom out and show them that it pretty much runs the entire length, like, it runs the whole length there, so we can grab it. You can go scroll right a little bit because it goes further, right?
Nope.
Well, that's pretty much.
It runs into our train track.
Well, we'll get to the trains in a minute. All right. So then about that. Next thing, I want to go to defenses. Why don't you go up to the left there?
Well, I'm not fast enough for defenses. I'm like a friend.
He loves his friend. That's his favorite friend. So what we did. So there's a joke about building walls in this, right? That pros don't need walls, right? But
they just put guns there and hope that things don't get past.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But we, I don't know. We're noobs. We like walls. So that was our first wall right there. Let me just tell you. So in this game, and we'll at the end of this video, we'll show you these bad guys. There are these bugs that attack you. Essentially, honestly, we're the bad person in this game, right? We're making these factories, and these factories make pollution.
Yeah, and smog. And then the only time the bugs come is when you have, pollution reaches their house.
Yeah, so all they're trying to do is get rid of the pollution that's ruining their planet. So, honestly, we're the bad guys. We'll get into it more, but then we did some things to try and curb our pollution and make less of it, which ultimately, so the bugs don't attack you as much as our goal there, but... anyway, let's go back up the top. So the first thing we did was, I remember what it was. One time, so when you first start, there's no pollution, and there's nothing, the bugs don't attack you, right?
Yeah.
When we first got attacked, it so happened that GruzeBoy went off and did something else, and I had to go somewhere else and do something, and we both returned to the computer, left the server running, because there's no bugs, there's nothing to worry about, right? We returned to pretty much these bugs had eaten and
destroyed everything. Nothing was left. Resources where the conveyor belts were just laying on the ground, completely destroyed.
So I'll go back up over here. So this is basically to the left here is our first wall we made, right?
Yeah,
and at that point in time, it was kind of like, there's our first wall, we just need to do something, and we left it there as we grew. We grew bigger and bigger, but that's our first wall. We just had a couple guns. Oh, by the way, if you're ever attacked by bugs, I didn't know to shoot. Spacebar is the answer, by the way. I was hitting everything, clicking the mouse, enter, you name. I literally was going through every button on the keyboard trying to find how to shoot. It's spacebar, which I don't know why that wasn't intuitive to me, but it's not. All right, so we're basically go over here and zoom in on our conveyor, right? So at first, the first thing is open up this thing so you can see. And one of these is electric and later game, and the first one though is magazine. That's electric. Go up that one. Click on it so you can see. In this gun, you put magazines, right? This is a machine gun, right? And you load it full of magazines. And this conveyor runs around, and you can see. Are you zoomed in all the way? Show them the arm that grabs from the conveyor and shows the magazine. So that conveyor is full of magazines. And those arms, it's in what color? Pivot on the yellow there. Hold still. The yellow there is it basically moves. Take them up. Can you take it out of there so they see it loaded or not? There, see the arm, the arm fills it back up again, right? So that's what the arm does. So basically the conveyor's running around, it's filling up the machine gun, and if you notice, it's right by a power pole. See that power pole thing? None of that arm wouldn't work without the power pole. So you have to run power around and the conveyor around to get these machine guns to defend the base. So quite a lot of work. Right next to it, I don't think we'll go away, but they actually get to electric laser guns as the next step. Those are neat, right? So we basically want to defend our base. Let's zoom back out. You know, we never talked about power, GruzeBoy. You want to go talk about the boilers? That's the first power I usually make is from coal, and GruzeBoy's going to show us the boilers.
If I can find them.
Yeah, over. Yeah.
There we go. Right up here.
Yeah, so the first thing you do, which by the way, we're not using the boilers. We've stopped using the boilers.
We stopped giving them coal.
See how they're flashing the red gas pump things up top? But you can see the conveyors running around. We had it where the coal would go into the boilers, and they basically make, and you have to have water, right? Can you point at the water? You see it's sucking from the lake.
And which is all smoggy.
Yeah. Well, that's another story. So we're polluting the lake, right?
Yeah, we're polluting the lake.
Yeah. Anyway, it used to be blue. We made it green. Anyway, those are your first power generally, right? But they make a lot of. Ooh, do you remember the button for pollution?
Oh yes, it's a map.
We actually stopped playing this a few months ago. We beat the game and we moved on to other things. And I was like, we have got to make. Now it's a button.
Pollution. This giant red cloud is pollution, and these small things here, those are biter nests.
Or the bat,
so currently, right now, a whole bunch of little bugs are angry at us and coming for us.
Yeah. So here, I was just showing you this wall. We were just right here, right? Wait, no, I'm sorry. That wall right there. Yeah. This is our first wall, and then we moved to this wall. We actually, we've actually made it bigger now. I guess we made it bigger. I guess I deleted the wall and made it bigger. I can't remember what we did. But anyway, this is our wall. It's our main wall. We do have some outposts. We'll show you this later. Outpost, and then these are our two main outposts out here. We'll show you later. But this is our main hub wall. We're defended. Oh, we're getting attacked.
Ooh.
Can you zoom in? Show them the attack. Hurry. Oh.
Frick. Run.
See our go. You're not going to make it in time, are you? Our defenses are going to have them blown up by then. Yeah. See, they go up. See that pile of dead bugs there? Those lasers and those machine guns had them killed by the time.
Hold on. Spidertron? Get.
Oh, he's going to show us Spidertron. Why don't we just...
I'm addicted to Spidertron.
No.
There must be more bugs coming.
We're supposed to do Spidertron and the bugs later on in the game, at the end of the video. Remember that?
Yep. Now we've gotten interested. So these areas here with mushrooms, those were nests previously were. But now I've eradicated them.
Zoom out. There they are.
Oh yeah, I forgot the thing is automatic homing missiles.
Yeah, so he's going to go try and take out a bug nest. Okay, so these things come and attack your base. Hopefully Captain Fiddle doesn't die.
I shouldn't die.
He's loaded up with lasers and missiles and everything else. So he's
they're dead.
Destroyed this nest, right?
So biters can only spawn from nests. You can't just have one spawn inside your house. That wouldn't be fair.
But the nests will spawn because of the pollution. Basically, there's a whole specific, mathematical algorithm on how it all works. But essentially, more pollution makes more nests, makes more bugs. These are our, defenses.
Why is this?
Against.
Why have we never noticed this is shaped like India?
Huh?
Look, the lake shaped like India. Am I stupid? Shaped like India.
Into the south end. Anyway, all right. So moving on. What have we done here? We did our coal and our copper. We did our main bus. We did our wall, our conveyor belts. Shoot a spacebar. You want to go on to sulfur and science, right?
Oh yes.
Before I turn it over to GruzeBoy, we didn't know there were underground pipes for a while. So GruzeBoy did these above ground pipes, which by the way, when you play, you can't walk through an above ground pipe. You have to go around. So there was this mess of above ground pipes that GruzeBoy had made.
What happened?
And I cursed him and said, buddy, we've got to fix this. And then we figured it out. Over to you.
There was a lake originally here, and I put a pump, and I wanted my sulfur all the way down there. So I had to just run all across here. He was so mad at me because that pipe was in the way and he couldn't walk. He had to go all the way around. He was so mad. But that led to sulfur generation. So what happens is...
I said, GruzeBoy, there's got to be a better way than these pipes.
And I couldn't find underground pipes from the...
Can you imagine not walking through half of your base? You couldn't walk across. You had to go all the way down and around.
Like, you want to get there and... Stop. You try and walk around. stop. You can't go through. And it's just so annoying. So you had to go.
That's how GruzeBoy had it set up.
All the way around. And then you were past it.
Yeah. All right. So, but basically, they're underground pipes. If you haven't played, make sure you learn those because we'll get on to computer ports in a minute. All right. So
we have
next we do. Okay, go
Sulphur.
ahead. So we got science and solar. Science and solar is our next stops.
Well, so sulfur. So you take that oil and you put it inside of a refinery. You take the crude oil and you put it inside of this thing or refinery, and you get petroleum gas. I should have known that off the top of my head because I built this entire thing. You get petroleum gas, which goes into these things with the water to make sulfur, which I'll tell you what sulfur is used later. But there are also different types of oil for take crude oil and water. I can create heavy oil and light oil. Heavy oil, I'm pretty sure we're using for lube right now. Yes, we're using heavy oil for lube. But so we just had too much light oil. All of our tanks of light oil were full, and it was stopping these things from working because they were full of light oil. So we figured we could put rocket fuel, and rocket fuel is 100% made out of light oil. So now we just have tons of rocket fuel, which is not inside the chest because the bots took it away. Talk about those later.
So what he's saying right there, there's just tons of balance of things. If something makes two products, and then you really don't have use for the second product, and then that tank gets full, well then it's not going to make the other product either, that one you're using a lot of. So it's a balance here on how to figure all that out.
Sulfur and water makes sulfuric gas, and sulfuric gas is like really useful. It's used for a lot of late game things. It makes these circuits, it makes lots of things.
All right. Yeah, that was at the end. We were crushed for green circuits. We really needed that because the green circuits you need for science, to research, to get things. You basically a lot of these products you have to learn. It's called the science. So you can research the technology that you want. Right. So you have to do it. You got to spend those products to get the research to get the next thing you need. But we need a lot of green circuits. So next was solar. So we talked about pollution and how we wanted to get rid of as much pollution as we could. So one of the things you can do is solar, which if you are going to play this game, there are big towers that cover lots of space. Click on that's not one of them. I think that's a distant one. But anyway, these are solar panels. Zoom out as much as you can. I mean, essentially though, just honestly, with solar, look how much you need. I mean, you need a lot of solar. Like, see how they're just everywhere? But I can go down a little bit. See, because those are the batteries. There's solar, and then we call them batteries. Do you remember the real name?
They're accumulators.
Accumulators, right? But they're batteries, right? So you got to have enough solar to power the base and charge the batteries. Then you got to have enough batteries to power through the night.
Yes.
So it's and the whole goal is to reduce pollution so the bugs don't attack you. So we wanted to do it. We have got to remember where the pollution thingy is. It's like escape, and we got all those bars and graph. There it is. Do it.
Pollution statistics.
Okay, there you go. So this is what we're making. These are all the items we're making. Right now we talked about all the stuff we're doing.
So we seem to be making the most copper plates right now.
We're making 2
and the least of green science because it's basically stocked full.
We're making all this stuff right now. Okay.
So let's look at
pollution. There we go. So what's polluting, right? We are there's the whole science of this too. So what is this thing? This is our miners, which you have to have the miners. You can't get away from that, but you can level them up to be the more efficient miners. And this is just what's making pollution. We reduce it down. Where is our power though? Do you remember that one?
Oh, power?
Yeah, the power one.
All we have to do is just zoom in.
There we go. All right. Yeah, so this is how much power we're using. And actually, this is a lot of fun. This blue chart is the steam turbine that we haven't told you about nuclear. We moved on to nuclear. And this is how the solar panels, see how it's rising? The sun must be coming up, right? So we're using more and more of the solar as the sun's coming up. And you can watch it if you zoom out.
In fact, this starts to die down because it knows that it's not that useful anymore. So it starts to die down in productivity when the solar panels are at max. So actually, I have like 10 minutes. It's easier to look at. So basically, this solar panel, this is nighttime, sunrise, daytime, sunset, nighttime, sunset, and then daytime. And then strip time, it accounts to what it needs to do there. Power consumption. This is like what's consuming our power. It's assembling machine 3. Assembling machines. They craft things for
Well,
me.
you have to have
I use them
thing.
too much. I use them too much. They're taking too much power.
Our accumulators are always charged.
So what happens, so what we have here is production is like what it could fully be producing and what it's producing now. And then satisfaction is, are the things that require power getting power? Which it appears that they are.
So you can see these graphs are neat, and you can spend a lot of time staring at them, and honestly, when your power goes out on your base and your things don't work, you have to sometimes. It's a lot of fun, and, as you build more things and make more power, you've got to just keep rebalancing and building and adding, and, that's the whole gist of the game, right?
Back at pollution, because I wanted to share something there.
Go ahead.
A little epic gamer tip, if you will. Trees and tiles consume pollution. It appears that pollution absorbed by damaging trees, it's also damaging trees, but you have a whole bunch of dead forests. That's not good. Biters and spitters. If you see these on your pollution thing, this means they're sucking up pollution. This is what's taking pollution. That means you're probably going to get an attack soon.
Yeah, they're
evolving, and you're probably going to get an attack soon. But since you have laser guns everywhere, it doesn't really matter.
We're pretty good right now, but you never know. It's one of those things where we don't pay attention. All of a sudden, they've attacked and attacked and attacked, and they spit stuff right on your lasers or whatever. So after a while, they beat one and they beat another, and over time, if you don't watch it, they'll beat down an area and they'll be in before you know it. So you got to keep them in mind. Etc. So, all right. Did you do science then?
Nope. You stopped me.
Do science. Sorry.
Science. So, I forget which one it was. Is it L? Nope, it was not L. R? I'm forgetting which button it is.
Right click on the thing.
Oh, T. That's what it was.
We played this. It's been a few months. I can't remember. We played this, obviously, and beat the game. We got off on other stuff. I got meaning to make the video, and here it is, end of the year. I said, GruzeBoy, we have got to make this video, so we're a little rusty in our keys, but we certainly were all into this and played this almost every day for a while.
So,
take it away, GruzeBoy.
You don't even start out with underground pipes or splitters, or you don't start out with assemblers or steel at all. You don't start out with much. What you have to do is you have to craft these science that look like little flasks and put them in these labs. And then you choose to research something like, I want to research steel furnace. So I'd click on that, and then it'd say, it appears it needs 75 of red science and green science. So I'd shove in 75 of red science and green science into here, and it would take a little bit, but I would research it. So we're actually researching something right now, space science, which allows us to get a satellite to send into space. But we seem to have a bottleneck in yellow science, which my big problem with science is that you can have everything else. Look, these are stocked full. I even have buffer chests of everything because there's just so many. Look how much blue science we have. And this chest is full. We already have those stocked full, but look how small of yellow science we're getting.
So you're chasing your tail, and you go back to figure out why you don't have more yellow, which needed something or other, and then GruzeBoy says, ColeTrain, why are you taking all the whatever? And I say, I'm sorry, I needed it for the whatever. And
it appears that we do not have any blue circuits.
Which, there you go. Which you need the green, blah, 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 blah. We shifted a lot of our blue once we needed. The end game is you launch this rocket, and we need a lot of blue, so we pretty much had everything we needed and shifted everything over here. So that's part of the balance, right? If you could not have to keep shifting things around, if you just had it all balanced out just right, and that's what the main bus will do for you, right? If it's backed up somewhere, great. It sends on down the pipe to somewhere you need it, but. All right, is it making clunk noise? You promised not to park on a treadmill for no clunk noises, remember? All right, so there are three, well, I guess there's 3 or 4 modes of transportation. So Spidertron here, you don't use him for building things. You use him for defense and
building things. Yeah, you can build things.
Well, I know, but he's not a production machine. He's other stuff. But for production, conveyors is the number one, the first thing you use to move this stuff around. There's different levels of conveyors.
Actually, number 0 is your body.
That's true. I guess number 0 is you can carry stuff in your person. And at first, you're crafting things in your own inventory. Then you get conveyors, right? And then it's debatable what's next then. But we did a train next, which is, who doesn't love trains? We're going to get into that. And then hold on. And then there's also robots that you may see them flying by. Zoom in on it. See these guys? These guys are actually running stuff around. That's number 3. We just love these robots so much. They're not the most. We're overutilizing the robots, but it's a lot of fun. We got a whole robot network zipping things around. So you can see the progression. This is down at the robot end of the base example. For example,
this is the
early game to the left. There is the track base. Then we did the train, and this is like robot zone where we said, heck with tracks, we're using robots, right? So see them flying everywhere. We're zooming on these the home bases deals. Here. See, these are like this is the network. It basically shows that all these robots are linked. There's a robot grid, and we actually put 2 of these here because they needed to refuel, so often, so much. We had them coming through here. We doubled it up, but there's a whole grid of robots you can do. So, all right, you want to do the train?
There's one thing I need to check because how many of these we have enough.
Well, they can't fiddle.
Wow. The only thing we're missing to make rocket parts is
rocket fuel. We're gonna make another rocket.
Huh. Well, yeah, I want to put the satellite in later, but whatever.
Okay, you want to do the satellite? All right. Hey, there went the train. Alrighty, so this is a lot of fun. Just unload it. Show this.
So now I have this.
Escape. Come on. You're going to miss the unloading, whatever you're doing. There we go. So the train came in here. Zoom in. The train came in here and unloaded. Right? See this thing? These boxes loading there? It unloaded into the boxes, and now we're loading on the conveyor belt. So basically, we made those outposts. Right? So we're going to show you those outposts, but the train runs up to the outpost where we're getting other stuff. And this is what comes back and brings us. This is our nuclear. What's this called? What's the word for that?
Copper? Uranium?
No, uranium.
Uranium-235?
Yeah. And this is what, nuclear? What is that?
Well, you got uranium-238 and uranium-235.
I know, and these are?
Centrifuges.
Centrifuges. So, whatever. You get uranium into the centrifuge, which then you make the steam. See the steamers?
Yes.
And by the way, this is pollution-free, pretty much. So that way the bugs don't get you, right? And by the way,
let's show the outposts.
Yeah. By the way, if you're doing this, this uranium deal is fantastic. Like, it makes a ton of power. The only problem is, so here's the train. Can Spidey Bot get hit by the train?
Nope.
I'll tell you what. Fun story. You can get hit with the train and die. I don't know how the game keeps track of how many times you've died with the train.
If we head to the train, it's leaving the copper station now.
You can ride the train. You can stop it and just get in the train and go for a ride. There it is.
Dang it, he's faster than me. Hold on, we're going to catch up to the train and we're going to read its statistics. Spidey isn't as fast as the train. He's at his max speed right now, though. This is like 100 miles per hour. Alright, so here's the train.
There's the train. Zoom in so you can see it.
Look at our statistics.
Yeah, zoom in so you can see that. Why don't you just stop it?
It has killed...
Stop the train.
It's fine. Okay. It's killed 5 players. It's killed ColeTrain 2 times. It's killed me 3 times.
There we go.
Space science is finished.
Alright, there goes the train. Follow it. Well.
He's heading up to uranium, so we're going to head up to uranium as well. Or it's going to be a little bit late.
So this is the first output we made was uranium. You're going by an iron processing facility. No, keep going. Go up.
Iron.
We'll do that later. They know. They've seen iron. It's no big deal. But my point is, our second outpost was because I sucked our iron mining dry, and we had to do another outpost, and we basically said, let's make a better facility. Yeah, this is an outpost.
So ColeTrain decided, I want to make this place self-sustaining.
Yeah.
And didn't realize that we were using centrifuges here.
And there's some power.
And they're power hungry, so we ran a line from there to
yeah. But you know, it still contributes to the base power, and it will. I mean, it'll operate during the day if we lose power at the main base. But you can see I did the whole. This one though, you see only the laser defense around. We got our walls again, and I put laser defense. We got power basically. But they draw power too, so you got to have enough solar. I mean, it's just hard. If you want to use solar, it just takes a lot of space, you know. And then if you want, then you have to defend the space from the bugs. I mean, even if you're a pro and you don't use the walls, that's still a lot of these guns all around. So
also, uranium is a pain because I wanted to make an outpost where it just goes, picks up uranium, and leaves. But I also had to drop off sulfuric acid because it apparently required sulfuric acid to mine uranium, which is silly.
Yeah, so
but that's
what GruzeBoy showed you is his sulfuric acid setup, and basically there's a tanker car in the train, and there's 3 train cars, and we load it full of sulfuric. It brings it up here and unloads it for this, and then it loads up uranium and brings it back up. So
the centrifuges take the uranium ore and process it into the uranium-238, which has a 99.3% chance, and a 0.7% chance to uranium-235. So uranium-235 is so rare, but it's the main ingredient in nuclear fuel.
All right, so
that's kind of sad.
I want you to show them our. Go back. So basically, you see the solar panels have charged up the batteries, and see how they're shimmering?
Yes.
That means the batteries are being used right now, right?
Yes.
So, what do you keep doing that for, Fiddle?
I'm changing him. I'm changing his...
You think the viewers at home want to see you change him all the time?
Nope.
Alright, let's see. So there goes our train. Anyway, the batteries, what are these capacitors or whatever they're being used?
Accumulators.
Accumulators, whatever the heck they are. They're being used right now. So, I mean, we're down here. My thoughts are we should show them the round in a circle uranium thing we made. Right?
Yes, but the reactor.
Yeah, that's good. So
and the copper outpost.
Yeah, but show them the copper outpost on the way by, and then we'll go make it home to the uranium around in a circle deal, right?
Yes.
Do we want to just get in the train and go for a ride?
Sure.
No? Well, do you know where it is? We should go to a stop so you can get into it easier, right?
It's coming past here. It's at the copper station right now.
Yeah, it's up on the mini map, you can see.
There. So right now it's sucking up copper from this station here.
See how the little zoom in on the there we go. So it's right now you can do 2 choices, like manual drive or automated. GruzeBoy looked on automated, and you can see the what it's carrying. It's visual. Zoom in a little bit. You can see it's carrying in there. The first one's a tank car.
Sulfuric acid, copper, uranium-238, and copper. And this one also holds uranium-235, the rare one. I don't think we're ever going to get any more. It's fine. Doesn't matter.
No, we don't. That's the one you actually need, right? That's the one that makes power. And there is a way. Did you stop the train?
Nope. It's unloading.
I know, but it's going to take off.
I know.
Okay, all right.
So
go up to your...
I take the uranium out of the car, which, goodbye. It takes the uranium out of the car, so...
Zoom in. There we go.
Alright, so the bright green is the rare stuff, the good stuff. The dark green is the bad stuff. You don't want it. So...
It's not that we don't want it. We just have so much of it, we don't need it anymore.
Yeah. So we got the centrifuge, and we unlocked a special type of duplication, where it's the enrichment process, where you get 40 uranium-235 and 5 uranium-238. It makes it 41 of the good stuff, and you get 2 of the bad stuff. So you're basically turning 3 of the bad stuff into 1 good stuff, which seems like a good trade, and then you realize you need to get 40 of the good stuff before that. So it takes a little while. What we have here is you just have a circle where it takes in good stuff and bad stuff, does the process, and then outputs all the good stuff back onto the track just to go through the loop again. Get duplicated, back on, duplicated, back on. And now we have a surplus of uranium-235.
And you want to empty that box, or where that box. Get rid of those reds, so it sucks it there. And then basically that box can get filled up, and you can show them. Because this is a neat process. So
yes. So then the uranium fuel cells requires.
Get off of that thing. I want to see the process. There. So it's basically we've emptied the box, and now it's going to fill the box, and then you can see these things work once it gets all done, right? So but I want to see these things work, right?
Yes. So it's grabbing the good stuff to get. So it has enough of the good stuff, I think.
But it was just this thing's backed up at the moment, right? The top area there, the top belt in your screen should be empty, honestly, right? The whole point is, and you see that one thing at the top just loading those things up.
Yes. So this is working now.
There. So you see at the top of your screen, right here, it's loading, right? It's loading because it's there.
Yep.
And it's making more of it. So.
Okay. So then the fuel cells, they go and they combine most of the good stuff, a little bit of the bad stuff, and some iron plates. They go together to make uranium fuel cells.
Do we have plenty of those?
Yes, we have plenty of those.
All right.
They output here now. This is it's a mess. It's what would be classified as spaghetti, but I'm actually going to call for my Spidertron because I can't walk over walls. But he can.
Yeah, it's time to talk about Spidertron if you want. And then after we're done with this, the Spidertron, we can go.
So I guess I can show it from here. So we have the nuclear reactors, and the nuclear reactors, they give off heat. That's what they do. They turn the fuel cells into heat. And also, if you link up the little, I wouldn't move over, I guess right here. If you link up the heat cords, they can share heat and heat up overall faster. And the heat goes into heat exchange. What? Heat exchangers? Whatever. They go into heat exchangers that you pump water in, so it burns the water and boils it into steam turbines, which turns that steam into energy. What?
Oh, we were getting attacked. Sorry. It's fine.
What?
It's done now. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. And then this produces a mass amount of power.
I mean, that's more than we need, right? We're good. I mean, with that and the solar, we're good. All right. So you want to talk about Spidertron, and then let's go destroy some bugs with Spidertron, and then that's a wrap. Right?
Spidertron is stuck in the bridge. So his AI with the remote, which by the way I have a remote to make him come to my location. His AI with the remote isn't that good, so he's trying to go across water.
You want to show this massive iron complex here? Is it backed up? Yeah.
It's backed up because there's so many iron plates.
Yeah, and we're good on iron plates. But see how all those factories take all that iron ore into these furnaces, all the way down. We've just got a ton of it. We need a lot. All right, keep going where you're going.
So his AI is not that good because nothing can go across water in this game. But see, he's trying to go across water, but he can't. I'd have to command him to go around it. So if you paint, that was close.
You almost saw GruzeBoy. So hit escape. Go to the mini maps. You can see over the attack real quick. There. Where's our attack?
So it's
there over here. There we go.
Right now.
We missed it. But they're getting attacked there. That was
that's out of our radar radius.
Yeah.
So. I'm going to turn off the pollution real quick. So wherever it's bright, if you zoom in, you can see it perfectly. And then where it's not, well...
Yeah, there's something called radar, and basically if you put these units powered, right? Yeah. And within a certain range, it basically enables you to look at it through the mini-map as though you were there. So it's pretty neat if you need to see what's going on with attacks on the other side of your base or anything.
So if I grab a Spidertron, I can just go boop, and then he'll run over there. But now if we have Spidertron here, and I want him to go there, he won't go around it, he'll just get stuck. Not what we want. Anyway,
we'll attack some more bugs with the Spidertron.
Even though he has a little goofy AI, he can he can still fire a rapid amount of rockets. So I'm gonna try and find a nest that we want to victimize and destroy. So I'm gonna head down and Well, I'll see you when we get to the nest. Alright, so we're pulling up on the nest now. You'll zoom out a bit. Yep, here they are. So my strategy is I have rockets, and since the explosive ones are a little hard to make, I have normal rockets and explosive rockets. So the worms, they spit globs, which I don't like. The spitters also spit globs. The biters just run up to you and deal damage. They're kind of a pain. But basically, I just run around in circles, just dodging their projectiles, and it automatically fires rockets. That'd be too hard to aim manually. So it just fires the rockets around, and eventually I hit the nests, which the nest is what they spawn from. If I remove the nests, they die. They lose. They can't respawn. So that thing, that's a nest, and that's a current rocket target, so it's gonna die. This one has a ton of worms, and so they can't actually goose Spidertron and make him slow down, which is kind of scary, but other than that, it's fine. Here, let's head to, yep, first let's just... So basically, they move ever closer to our base, and I have to kill them. And usually it's kind of just like a, oh, they're getting kind of close. Let me just pull out Spidertron and just mow them down.
But in the beginning, we don't have Spidertron, so that's why we got the walls and the guns. They just attacked, and we defended that way. But once we got Spidertron, we were able to, you know, attack them and beat them down so they were further away. But
also, I thought
they respawn.
In the early game, there are these little things in the water called fish, and you can take the fish. Whenever you eat a fish, you regain health. So in the early game, I like to call it fish spam. I just ran up, shot my minigun, and just spam ate fish, so I wouldn't die. It worked for a little bit, until the fighters evolved, and they just insta-killed me. So note, if you might think, if you try that and like, oh, it works, don't go out abusing it, because you will end up failing. In fact, I died and we never got my body back, because it took way too long for us to get out there. So, yeah, lesson to learn.
I think we did get it back.
We didn't. We didn't.
No?
No, they disappear after like 5 minutes.
And there are missiles you can use to do this too, but
yeah, there's like atomic bomb missiles.
Yeah, there's mods for this game and everything. So it was a good time. I think that's a wrap, GruzeBoy. Oh boy, you got a big nest here. We're done with this server pretty much. That's why I made this video. So if GruzeBoy's Spidertron doesn't make it, it doesn't matter anyway. But I think
I'll be pretty sad.
I think his heart will be broken anyway. Even if we...
My Spidertron, I spent so long making this. Like a stupid amount of time.
Yeah, I didn't get much help out of GruzeBoy. He was like focused on this.
Like, hey, you want to help me set up this iron thing? No, I'm busy. Busy what? Nothing.
Spidertron. Well, we got a whole bunch of them. Alright, Grizzy. I think we're good, buddy.
Yep, alright.
Make it back home, I guess.
But making it back home is lame.
Oh,
I want to eradicate
kill those things on the way.
Okay, fine, I'll leave. So I'm gonna edit this back in. So ColeTrain has requested that we add some Spidertron walking across water, because it is actually kind of cool. So he can extend out his legs and just go over water. This is the closest you can get to like swimming or like going near water in this game, because like water's the game's barrier.
Oh, Spidertron's trying to restock you.
Oh yeah, Spidertron.
The robots restock you. You can choose what you want stocked on yourself and on your Spidertron.
And it's restocking my Spidertron.
Zoom in. There. So they're bringing him stuff and taking away stuff. See all those missiles, all those rockets he used? Well, they're bringing more rockets.
Yeah.
Once you get one. Look at the flow of robots. Zoom back in. The flow of robots bringing him stuff. Can you go to your inventory and show it get bigger?
No, it's right here.
Okay.
So look it down here, and you'll see the rockets growing.
There we go.
So this is my most common lake that I walk across, and just look, he barely makes it across. It's so close. Just a little bit more. You stretch your legs, boy, stretch. Get some close-up action on Spidertron. Oh yes. Come on now, boy. Come on now, boy. Come on. Alright. Bye-bye.